everyone, I'm Mamadou Babai, an Unreal Engine developer at SenseGlove. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to set up VIVE Pro and VIVE trackers for the SenseGlove Unreal Engine plugin. For this purpose, we are going to use SG Basic Demo, which is a demo project. It's open source by SenseGlove in order to set up the wrist trackers and VIVE Pro. Once you Google the SenseGlove Unreal Engine plugin, you should be coming to this landing page. And here there's a section called Examples and Demo Projects. And once you click on this link, you are going to be redirected to the Microsoft Azure repositories for the SG Basic demo. And also, I'm not going to produce this demo from scratch because we already did cover that in a 90-minute video, but that was for quiz 2. Now we are basically going to just download and open the same project. If you are interested to see how we did produce this demo, you could follow this tutorial, and also there are more basic tutorials like how to set up your gloves or how to install and set up the plugin, and plenty of other more tutorials here that you could follow. But once you click on this link here, you will be redirected to our repository, our SG Basic demo repository on Microsoft Azure. And once you are here, actually, we already did create other branches, like beside the master for every headset and every platform. For example, if you want to deploy to Quest Pro on Android, you have to just here select your desired branch, which is Quest Pro Android. And from there, just press this 3-dot menu and download as zip, and that's it. You just open the project and start deploying to Android. Or for even VIVE Pro, you could just directly check out the VIVE Pro and you could skip this tutorial. But in this tutorial, I'm going to use the master branch, which is by default set up for Quest 2 on PC and Android. So basically, for now, the master branch is identical to these two branches. But anyway, I'm going to just download this branch, the master branch, as a zip file, which I've already did, and put inside this folder. I'm going to extract this. Let's extract it to a folder. And then once that is done, I'm going to just simply rename this to SG Basic Demo. As I said, this is already compatible with Quest 2, but I'm going to make this work with HTC Vive Pro and Vive trackers. So once that is done, I'm going to open the project because we have some setup. And it says the project requires the SenseGlove plugin, which could not be found. Would you like to disable it? I believe, yeah. The reason is because this repository uses Git sub modules. It does not basically, once we downloaded it, it did not check out the SenseGlove plugin for us. We have to use Git and have a Microsoft Azure repository in order to do that. But don't worry, it's really easy to get the latest version of the plugin, and we could just do that right now. But actually, we have a tutorial for that. Like here, plugin installation for Microsoft Windows and also for GNU Linux. You could follow that. There are two ways to install the plugin. One is through the Epic Launcher. The other one would be to directly use Microsoft Azure in order to download it. So I'm going to directly use Microsoft Azure. So that's why I'm back in this landing page. And here I click on the changelog. And once I do that, I will end up in the right directory, repository, and I go to the files section. Then from here, I have to choose the which branch of the engine I'm going to use. For this tutorial, we used Unreal Engine 5.2. So I'm going to here choose the branch 5.2, and I'm going to download this, and I'm going to put here. Once that is done, I have to extract it. So basically what I did, I came to the plugins folder. There was a file here. That file is just contains a git hash, which is like a shortcut to the correct repository. But since we use the download functionality, it just downloaded shortcut file. It didn't download the content. So that's why we are downloading this separately right now. And it's a bit slow, but I hope it's faster. But anyways, in the meanwhile, I have to mention we are going to make another tutorial for also VIVE Focus 3 and VIVE Focus 3 trackers. So it's done. Done. Now I can right click here and 7-zip, extracted SenseGlove Unreal. Just a bit of time. Now it's done. I'm going to name this just SenseGlove. Rename it SenseGlove, and I'm going to cut this. I'm going to SG Basic Demo and the plugins folder. I'm going to paste it here, and voila, it's done. Now, I'm going to just open this. It should be showing me this message. It says it requires to build all these modules, which most of them are from the SenseGlove plugin and also the SG Basic Demo itself. So I'm going to press yes, and it may take a while for the project because now it's building in the background. As you can see, the binaries and intermediate folders are being produced. And in a minute or so, we should be having our project open. I have also set up my gloves already, as you can see here. And I'm going to skip this, but we already do have the tutorials here, how to set up gloves. Okay, now Unreal Engine is opening on my first screen. Yeah, this is basically the project, but it was set up for Quest 2. Now I have to set this up for VIVE Pro and VIVE trackers. So what am I gonna do here? The first thing you have to do, basically, you go to Edit and go to Plugins. You have to make sure first your SenseGlove plugin is this version at least, because these trackers are just supported from version 1.5 onwards. And once you made sure you have that, you should also look for this plugin called OpenXR VIVE Tracker. Here, also OpenXR, but once you select that, usually it's just going to enable this one as well. But on this project, it's already selected the OpenXR plugin. So I'm going to basically check that. And once I do that, it just says it's beta version. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to restart. One thing that you should have in mind is this plugin is not available in older versions of the engine. So if you try this in Unreal Engine 5.1 or 5, it's not going to work. So you have to have your project using Unreal Engine 5.2. And one more thing is if you are going to, for example, use Bifocus 3 and you want to deploy for Android, actually, for the time being, this is like a thread from Wednesday. It's just HTC still does not have released the VIVE OpenXR plugin for Unreal Engine 5.2, so it's not going to like work on Android. But anyway, VIVE Pro does not support Android, but yeah, this is for VIVE Focus 3. You should keep in mind it takes a few weeks for them to release the new plugin, which is compatible with Unreal Engine 5.2, and you will be able to use this project and deploy it to Android. There is already a repository here. If you take a look at it here, there is already a repository, but as I said, it's not going to. So let's go back. Once that is done and your engine restarts, you have to make sure it's already enabled. Okay, this was the first thing we had to do. The next thing is open our pun, which is open now in my first screen. I have to move it to a little bit of slow down my system. Open this. Okay, I'm opening the full blueprint editor, and what I need to do is actually the settings on the wrist tracker right and wrist tracker left. So after enabling the OpenXR VIVE plugin, we come here, we choose the, for example, wrist tracker right, and here I'm going to choose, instead of Quest 2 controller, I'm going to choose VIVE tracker. And for Oculus, you need the motion source for the left hand to be left and for the right hand to be right. But here I'm going to put it on left foot and right foot. Of course, you could use other sources, but you have to make some settings. We will see it in a bit inside the SteamVR app. But for now, let's stick to left foot and right foot. And we have to do the same thing on the other wrist tracker. So here I'm going to again set the tracking hardware to VIVE tracker, and the motion source is going to be left foot for the left hand and right foot for the right hand. And once that is done, I'm going to compile and save it. That's it. That's the only thing you need to do from the Unreal Engine side. And now I have to actually run SteamVR. So I'm going to SteamVR. And put on my headset. See if I can get a preview. As you can see, my base are detected, but my wrist trackers are off, so I turn them on. Now both of them are on. And let's use the preview button inside the Unreal Engine. One thing is, because prior to recording this tutorial, I was using Oculus Quest. You have to first go to the settings inside the SteamVR app, and basically in the OpenXR section, you should set SteamVR as OpenXR runtime. There's also a similar one inside the Quest app. Once you switch to Quest for development, you have to do the same thing. So it's just going to ask me, are you sure? I said yes. And now I probably have to engine and probably reopen the project. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now I'm going to use the VR preview. So it seems there is, my PC is almost frozen because I'm already recording at the same time. Probably that's the reason. Frozen. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and resume it once I figure out what is going wrong. Okay, now picking up from where we did a stop, because I had to reboot my PC. It seems like when you have Unreal Engine and SteamVR open together and recording using OBS, this is expected to happen. Anyways, we wanted to do a VR preview, but before that, I forgot to mention something else. If you remember, once we opened the SGPON, there we set the motion source for left and right hands, to left foot and right foot, and also here the same thing for the left wrist tracker. You have to, I've mentioned you have to do also some settings inside the SteamVR app. You have to go to devices, go to settings, and here you go to controllers, and here you should choose manage trackers. Once you do that, you will see all your pair trackers here. At the moment, this one is attached to my left glove, and the other one, this one is attached to my right glove. As you can see here, I did choose the right foot, and for the other one, I choose left foot. For example, you could set this one to camera here, and once you do that, you could set it to external camera here. It's going to track that external camera as camera there. But usually left foot and right foot is the standard way to go. Now that is done, let's do a VR preview. Fingers crossed. I hope this time it's just able to do it, but probably it will be really slow. See. And it's trying to run. Yeah, I see something, but it's the frame rate is really bad. I wanted to grab some trick, but it seems the frame rate is so terrible that I cannot do that. But as you can see, I'm moving my hand, but it's not going very smoothly because yeah, my PC is slowing down. So that's the other hand. Move the right hand a bit. Unfortunately, it's not usable at all. I cannot, it seems, record at the same time and use SteamVR and Unreal Engine together with ease. So yeah, basically that's the idea, and this should set up your thing. Let's try to grab and quick. So I'm going to stop this because it seems it's not usable, but this was the idea, and I hope you have enjoyed this.